is starting. The Samayik on January 17, 2001. Have we done the Samayik so far? Mahatma. Every we have centers and all over the world. And what is a Mahatma? So Samayik is on Mahatma. If there are five people in your center, then you are the big one, right? And so new centers are forming and new old centers are dying. So, but the new center, one Mahatma wants to take charge. You see, why? And the fight between Mahatmas is not happening because you are a senior Mahatma versus a junior Mahatma. The fights happen because of the junk that lies within you. And when you want to do it in a certain way, you want to have your satsangs in a certain way, when you want to, it happens. It happens in every company, in every shop, in every centers, in every organization. It happens in the relative world, in every groups. Fights happen, conflicts happen because that is the nature of the ego. As long as he's new, he's very subservient, and as soon as he becomes experienced, he becomes a boss and he tries to install his weight on the other people. And we want to remain free from this kind of nuisance and nonsense. So let us. What is a Mahatma? Mahatma is the one who has attained the Shuddha Atma state, and the Prakriti is that which has been filled in ignorance. When you are eating when you are eating your lunch, everything is so beautifully arranged, but when it is discharging in the toilet, you can see what it is coming out. So there is, if something negative comes out through any Mahatmas, you are not supposed to see anything bad in it. It is just the discharge. That one, this hurt is the problem. The hurt to each other is the one that needs to be avoided, and we need to have a teamwork, and we have in everyone the team. In the team, you should not have any independent opinion. Whatever the team decides is my opinion. And this way you will become a lagutam, you will become lower than lower, and you will move away from the sense of superiority, because if you want to become superior and the leader of the group, then you will get beaten up. So become the lagutam, lower than the lower. Let the team do the work. Whatever the team decides is final. As it is, the circumstances are making you do things only, and your intellect is also a circumstance, is it not? The ego is also says. But you want to feed your own ego and intellect that I am right, I am correct. But you see, the one who has following his own willful behavior is also cannot move away from vyavasthit. But one mistake through ego and intellect hurts the other person, and that is so serious. And then it creates divisions within our own organization, which is very sad. So let us not go there. Yes, and the new people who come to this Akram Vignan, but they should have been served in a very nice way, but in the process we are having our own willful behavior, and therefore we hurt the organization. So we need to do the Samayik of the working, or whatever work you do, whether there are so many centers of Mahatmas all over the world, and more are forming. Initially there are less in number, now they increase, and also their numbers increase in each center. Then Vahi means the organization work, but it is the ego of superiority, the ego of authority is always there. One does not want, but you see, it is not it, but it is the filled stock in discharge of that Mahatma that is causing the interference. And let us look at it, because in the work of service, whether there are major functions, Janma Jayanti, Guru Purnima, Gnan Pratishtha, etc., in such times also we need to really we can also talk about those who are giving service and those who are also receiving service. So let us now talk about those who are giving service. And so then there is rifts and divisions that are happening within little groups, and then they start talking against each other, and that to the point where one or two people walk away and say, I'm not going to do it if that other person is in that group. And so that is the nature of the hungry ego, that is the ego that hurts the other person. And the nature of the ego is such that nature brings heavy egos together. But now with the knowledge of the S capital self, we do not want to move away from the oneness that we all have attained to each other. And yes, we do the welding and we do the pratikraman, but we do not want to spoil the work and do not want to have any divisiveness in future works that happen. So in different groups and different groups and centers or in different companies or different our prakriti, the non-self complex is the very same. Whether it work, you were interfering at work and you were creating problems for other colleagues, and now in this groups, and then when you have come into groups of service, then your ego is again become the culprit and creates divisions. And because the ego is the perpetually and deeply hungry one, and therefore when it gets a little kind of work to do, then it jumps on it. Yes, his heart is very good and he wants to do it, but you see, but on against the heart is the ego and the intellect, which is the enemy, and which puts down the other person, divides from the other person, moves away from the other person, crushes the other person. We need to study all of these evidences and let us look at where what are such mistakes happening in me. Doesn't this gentleman just said that I finally saw that I was wrong. If you believe that I am the top guy in this team, that whatever I do, whatever I will must happen. When I told them why did they not come for satsang, I invited them, and why did they not? I gave them this task for satsang, why are they not here? And that is the reason for pain and disharmony in others. Dada says this is the sabha, this is the gathering of Paramhams, those people who are going to separate away from the non-self complex and go into the escapital realm only completely. We are here in this. We are doing all this work because we are settling. We want to settle the file with equanimity. Yes. Whatever unfolds in front of us, whatever work of Dada or other work unfolds in our Vyavasthit is correct. If we are changed from one work to another, we do not want to blame anyone. We do not want to see anyone at fault, and we do not want to become obstinate, or we do not want to give excuses. We do not want to become deceitful in these things. Whatever has happened is correct, and this is the current unfolding in Vyavasthit, and then tomorrow there will be another unfolding on Vyavasthit. So in this way we are settling the files with equanimity, and as we settle the files with equanimity, bliss will rise. The jeep guy will take you up to the income tax, and then you will need the rickshaw guy. So then he'll take you to the railway station. Then the train will take you, as then you'll enter the train. So there are different limits that will take you. There again you'll encounter taxi guys. So this potlu, this non-self complex is being moved by different people in different locations in this universe. That's all. Everyone is serving everyone really, and that is the nature of the unfolding karma in Vyavasthit. It is the account of karma is going to unfold in its natural way. So when it unfolds, the critical thing is that the ego, the Vyavasthit unfolds, and the ego says, I want to do it, and I'm going to do it only, and I'm going to do it because I think I know better, and all of these ideas are wrong. You see, let it unfold according to the natural unfolding of Vyavasthit. Therefore, we are going to look at today in the Samayik the interferences of the intellect. Here, we are not going to enter into unnecessary discussions or competitiveness or ego insistence. If we've been told not to do something, then he says, we do not want to become a mini leader here and start a rebellion here, etc. We do not want to. That is the nature of the ignorant prakriti, and that is how we have really clashed and collided for infinite previous lives. But now, if we protect that seriously deficient prakriti, and the intellect is already protecting that prakriti, we do not need to be with intellect when intellect is pointing to the ego in that way. We want to attain the complete and the distinct experience of the self, and therefore we let the non-self complex enter into Jagat Kalyan, the work of helping others. But essentially, the awareness should be there that I am only settling a file with equanimity, and this is in that way. And in that process, I do not want to preserve my hunger of pride, or my hunger for superiority, or my hunger for sexuality, or my hunger for this, for other recognitions, etc. The limits are actually the limits. They are there. They are actually coming in front of you to making you free from this karma that is discharging from past life. It is not something new that is happening, and you should have love and oneness with the nimitt that has come to hurt you or tell you, shut up, you're not supposed to do this work now. Will you please take a back seat now? Will you please let this other person do this? The perception is that the other person is doing a little better work than you are doing it. It is your Kashayas that does not let you do the work properly. So if you can become free from Kashayas, the work will happen very beautifully. What we had done for countless previous lives by fighting, there is the Derani's group, the sister-in-law's group, the mother-in-law has a group of backbiting against the sister-in-law, the sister-in-law has